Welcome to this new lecture. Today we will talk about encapsulations. These are the objective of this lecture. So what's encapsulation? Encapsulation is the inclusion of property and method within a class object in which it needs to function properly. So as we talked in previous lectures that OOP is object-oriented programming, and we are human very good with dealing with these objects, and we can make the programming also based on the object, so we can create the object that is in the system that we are going to build. We can identify the objects that where the property and method can be set in one package. This is called the encapsulation. So we can capsule the property and method in one body, and we can deal with the body as a package together. So the class is a kind. So as we talked also, when we create an instance from that class, like for example, we create an object from that class. If we have a student class and we create object from that student class, so the class becomes a kind. Like if we create another variable from the type of string or integer, but the class is a custom type that we build it in our systems. So a class is a kind of container or capsule or cell which encapsulate the set of methods, attributes, and properties to provide the intended functionalities to other classes. And this is the meaning of encapsulations, OOP, that we put all these the properties and methods inside one package. So after we do that, after we encapsulate the object that we talked about, it enables us the reusability. So we can use this object whenever we want. These objects can interact with each other. These objects can be modified or extend their work by another object. So also enables reusability of an instance of an already implemented class within a new class, or while hiding and protecting the method and properties from the client classes. And this leads us to the next slide, which is we will talk about abstraction. So the encapsulation enable us the reusability of this class, and we can protect or hide some of the properties and method from that class that is not relevant. So what's abstraction? Abstraction means dealing with the level of details that is the most appropriate to the given tasks. So in the abstractions, we can simplify our class or our object, so we can deal with the details that is relevant to us. We don't need to complex the object or the class. With this more details that is not required in this stage, for example, and we can divide these classes into another classes that can interact with each other. So abstraction means ignoring irrelevant features, properties or functions, and emphasize on the relevance one. Relevant to what? Relevant to the tasks that you want to build in your systems. So abstraction is something we do every day. Like for example, if you want to deal with the printing machine, you want to print papers on this machine. So just you prepare the document on your laptop, then you send an order to the printing machine and fill the printing machine with the papers. And you don't need to know how the printing machine will take these papers and print the document that you send it to us. This is internal implementation of that printing machine. So these are complex tasks that you don't need to know. What you need to know is only you do two things. You send the document to the printing machine through computer and fill the printing machine with papers. That's it. So this is like abstractions. We do with abstractions every day. Looking at an object, we see those things about it that have meaning to us. We abstract the properties of the object and keep only what we need. So what is the abstraction? We can abstract either the attribute of the object or the properties, the methods of the object. So we can emphasize only on the things that is relevant to us. Allows us to represent a complex reality in terms of simplified model. Abstraction highlighting the properties of the entity that we are most interested and hide this encapsulation. We put the properties and method in one class, and this is enable us to make an abstraction and allows us to reuse these classes in another classes. So how to enforce abstractions? We can enforce abstractions using access modifier. So the access modifier is the way or the mechanism that you can protect or hide or enable the attributes and the methods inside the class to the other classes. So we have three access modifiers in Python. We have public access modifier, and this is accessible everywhere, meaning that inside the class, outside the class, in the other class, derivative class. And we have a private, accessible only with the type of itself. So if we create an attribute inside the class as a private, we can deal with this attribute only inside the class, and protected only inside the class and in the derivative class. And we will take this in the new lectures. Next to new lectures, we take how to use protected variable. So for example, if we assume we have a class and we have one of the attributes called the price, for example, and for the public we can just write it as is, price, and for the private we have to make 2 underscore before the attribute. So this is 2 underscore then price. So this is mean that this attribute is private. And for protected we can make 1 underscore before the attribute, and this is become protected. So this is like as we see in the previous lecture about special method. For all special method consider as a private special method because it starts with 2 underscore, and you cannot access this special method from the main program or okay. Now we will have this example. For example, so construct this class and include the followings. In default len, return the full name size. Okay, so we have here class called the human name. We can treat the human name as an object because the human name consists of 3 attributes, which is first name, middle name, and last name. And we have a method called print full name, and we have method called, this is private method, get full name. So how to solve this question? So we will write the class, then we write the 3 attribute in init constructor method, then we will write the print full name, then in this method. So to make it private we have to make 2 underscore before the name of these methods. And this is the solution for this example. So here we have a class called human name. In the init we define the 3 attributes that we talked about: first name, middle name, last name, and we can pass this inside the init. and we have functions called get full name, and these functions will return the string. We convert the first name to string, then we gather together with the middle name and the last name, and the print full name. And this method is private, so it starts with 2 underscore, and this method is public, so it starts directly with the character. So here self, I will print full name. I will call the private functions get full names to print. So here print self dot 2 underscore get full name. This is how to call the function that we want to use. And here for the other request, which is first request here, in default len return the full name size. So if we want to return the full name size, so just we can make a special method called len, and in return len self dot get full name. So this is how to construct or solve these kind of problems in classes. Here we have another class called employee class, and this class consists of 8 attributes and 4 methods. Okay, so employee class consists of employee number, employee name, employee age, allowance. Allowance is just a list of 12 months. So list size of 12, we can add the allowance that he will take in every month. Opening year, in every company there is open year or the current year, where the year starts from 1st of January until the 31 last day on the year, 31 of December. Then the basic salary, so every employee has a basic salary usually, and the company name and the employee address. So here we have a print profile. We can print all these 8 attributes together. We have get salary, and get salary is a method. We'll receive a month, and then we'll make this calculation, so calculate the salary. So the salary is not the basic salary, because salary it's equal to basic salary plus the allowance of that month minus the tax. And the tax, how to calculate the tax? The tax equal to basic salary multiply by 12%. So the tax for example, if the basic salary 1000, and the tax will become 120 dinar. So we have to calculate the salary or the paid salary that for that employee by this equation. Then we have another method called get annual basic salary. Annual, that means the year of basic salary. So for example, if the employee has a basic salary of 1000, so the annual basic salary will be 12,000, because 1000 multiplied by 12 months will give us a 12,000. And the last method is called get annual salary, and this method we will calculate each month salary. Like here we calculate it here. So the salary for the first month equal to basic salary plus allowance minus tax, second month until 12 months, and we return the annual basic annual salary, not annual basic salary. Okay, so now the topic of this exercise is create instance of a class in another class. So here let's see the question. Construct this class and include the followings. For employee name, emp name, use human name type. So here if we go and see, we have one of the attributes called employee name, and in previous previous slide, we create a class called the human name. So we treat a human name as a object. So here we can use this employee name as a human name type. It's not just normal string. We can use it as a normal type. So for the rest, you can implement it by yourself. It's very easy. Just start write the other class, the other attribute and methods, and you will solve the problem. So here I will go back to Python. Sorry. This is Python, and this is the human class that we wrote it before, and we have a private function, private method called get full name, and the others like before. So first I will create a new class. Okay, class employee. And inside this class, I will make only the first two attributes, so you know the others, because it's very easy. Only the employee number and name, to show you how to create an object of human name, employee number as an object from a human name. I will make the init function. I will receive a self here. Self dot employee number equal to none. Self dot employee name equal to, so to create objects employee name as a human name, here we can like we defined object in the main program, human name. So here we create the first two attributes of that class employee, and we construct the first attribute as normal variables, but the second attribute we construct it and we make it as an object from human name type. So here in the main program, so we can create, for example, x equal to, we create an object from employee equal to employee, and we can assign values to that employee name. So for example, we say x dot employee number, like for example employee number equal to this is employee number, x dot employee name. How to access the employee name? Employee name, because it's an object from another class, we have to make another dot here, and we can access the first name, last name, middle name, and print full name for that attribute. So here we can say first name equal to, for example, you have x dot employee name dot middle name equal to a x dot employee name equal to الفلا, and we can print here, print x dot employee name dot print full name. So the full name we didn't assign for middle name. Sorry, not middle name, last name. You have a الفلاح. Okay, let's go back here. So as a partial solution, we create a class employee, and inside the class employee we can define the employee name as a type of a human name from the human name class, and this is how to assign values to these variables. So please here complete the class, construct all the class and complete it, and I will take it as an assignment, and I will give marks for that. Okay, I will collect it in the next class. Here we have another exercise. Write program for 3 employees works in Microsoft company to enter the basic salary. So here we have to create 3 objects from the class employee. We have employee number 1, employee 2, employee 3, and then enter their basic salary for each employee, and print the sum of annual basic salary for all employees. So we want to sum all the annual basic salary for all 3 employees and print the sum. Please also try to solve this exercise, and I will collect it in the next class. Thanks for listening.